I am the one that's labeled the bad guy.
Right? Listen, Travis, man. Yo, brother, he's saying everything. This dude is saying everything correct.
So just because someone is a parent doesn't mean that's going to make that person automatically a good person.
Right? Who is this guy? Travis, he knows what's going on.
Because a lot of people operate in the mindset of if you can't beat them, join them.
No. I get that. Travis, I'm with you. Dead serious. I believe you. 100%. He's saying nothing but facts. 100% truth. Verdad. De verdad. Guys, what's going on? It's Summer Del Piso back with another Summer Reacts video. Let's do it. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Let's go. Join the Patreon if you guys feel like joining the Patreon. Because we have a lot of valuable information there, right? We have the free weekly newsletter where we talk about various topics in my analysis and opinions. And of course, we have the exclusive content with interviews, posts, videos, so on and so forth. The link is going to be in the description below. But anyway, it's not about me today. It's about this guy. This guy is a budding YouTuber by the name of You're Not Alone. His name is Travis. He has a lot of semen retention content on his goddamn channel. And I like a lot of what he talks about. This video popped up recently, came out, on my feed. Came out 2 weeks ago. The topic of the video is bad people outnumber the good people. Just on a small appraisal of the title, I reckon that he's going to talk about how there's a prevalence of evil in the world versus people that are generally good people, genuinely as well good people, and how that probably causes the temptation of the good people to side towards or obtain a couple bad qualities just because it's just a bit more profitable. In the short term, of course. But we're going to understand what Travis has to get into. Like, comment, subscribe on his channel, too. You're Not Alone. I feel like he's going to have a solid take. I've been watching a lot of the other stuff on this channel. It's pretty good, especially in regards to semen retention. I think that he has a video where semen retention brings good luck, which is true. I think we all talk about this. A lot of the people that, don't even have channels and practice semen retention also feel this as well. So let's get right into it, guys, without further ado. Let's do it.
You're Not Alone. Please like, comment, subscribe. Really helps me to get on the algorithm. But in today's video, I just want to talk about if you are a good, authentic person, you're going to have a hard time moving through life. Because to be honest, the good people are like outnumbered. I've always thought to myself, like, man, is everyone just like out for themselves, a bad person, a narcissistic demon? But then along the way, like I have met like genuine good people that think like me and move like me and haven't done me wrong. And by meeting those people, it made me see that, okay, there are other good people out there. It's not just me. But I rarely meet these types of people. It's so crazy. Like, I think in real life, I probably met like 3. And when I say like the 3 people I've met, I mean like chosen. They really ride for other people. They hardly like...
I'm going to say that too. I agree with Mr. Sir Travis over here. Honestly, I feel the same way. I think we have parallel sentiments. In my life, I'm 33 years old. He looks a little younger. I reckon he's like 24, 25-ish perhaps. So the types of people the number of people that you'll meet, let alone the caliber in that number of people that you'll meet that are solid, chosen as he calls them, and good and rides for people, are going to be very, very low. But I don't think that number exponentially increases or compounds in growth the same way, debt would, or, like student loan debt would. But just because it's very, very hard to find good people in this world, especially. And the thing is, a lot of good people, like I was alluding to in the beginning of the video, change along the way. There's that quote where if you're a good guy, or if you're a superhero, you live long enough to become the villain, something like that. It definitely holds true here. There's a lot. It's very, very profitable financially to be an evil person, exploiting people, making sure that people stay ignorant about certain things in order to constantly be able to manipulate and exploit resources out of them or work out of them, like a boss would to his subordinates. Bad people are just a dime a dozen because it's very, very easy to. It requires, especially in a world like this, to have virtues, to have good qualities, to be a solid person. It requires energy. Seriously, everything in this world requires energy. But to be a solid person, you have to exercise willpower because you are in a system where the prevalence of the variables are bad. So to maintain your state of being good is going to require effort, energy in this case. Let's see what else Travis got to say.
like think of themselves. They're always trying to think about like how they can better the lives of other people. Like you can still have like good people out here that still do bad and stupid shit to you. Like I've noticed that. Like I've came under the realization that you can love me, but you can still do me wrong. And that's still scary to think about, you get me? Because in the midst of it, you don't know how these people are going to react when push comes to shove. You don't know how these people are going to react when they have the option to either choose you or the other person. And
Then there it is. I think this is a very, very powerful thing too. Travis got into something really, really deep. There are good people in your life, right, that you'll have. The small number that he was speaking about in the beginning, I think 3 he mentioned, that was a specific number. But when push comes to shove, when the backs are against the wall, will they really ride out for you? I always say, like in my live streams, in my videos, that I really don't have friends at all. I don't have many. I mean, I have solid people in the live stream, which I'm very, very grateful for. You guys know who you are. Horizon. Honestly, friends that I could really count on, I can call, in the midst of an argument where we're just discussing ideas, perhaps of policies, or maybe geopolitics, economies, or maybe even philosophies or small ecclesiastic beliefs, and the whole room would band against me just because it's not generally popular to have my beliefs. When you have that one person to stand with you, that's a real one for sure. And I definitely understand where this guy is coming from, where you can't really ascertain, even out of the handful of good friends that you do have, which ones would really, really ride for you. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
and that's why I feel like loyalty is just fleeting in this world. And it just makes me not want to like conversate and move with people.
Converse, Travis. I know you're excited. Well, it's converse. Well, we're not going to put that in. No, honestly, I understand where he's coming from. Seriously. The thing is, Travis, I also think you're young. And just because you have a friend that perhaps says a sequence of words in a way that sort of elicits or gleans some sort of quality in you that's not very favorable, I don't think that that's not very favorable to you, or that's not very comfortable to you. I don't think that you should automatically consign them to the flames, honestly, as someone that's on the other side and doesn't believe in your growth or support. True friends are always going to ride for you, honestly, but they're also going to be there to reveal your flaws to you. When I was younger, I made a huge mistake in getting rid of good friends in my life, even good women in my life as well, just because they made me feel uncomfortable about the ways that I was. They brought light to a lot of the bad habits that I had, and I got rid of them because I didn't want to hear that. I didn't want to gaze or sort of identify those things, and just only to come into those things when I got older, trudging through the swamps in order to get rid of it. Because the longer you have something negative within you that's unaddressed, the harder it is to get out. That's how it works. It's kind of unfortunate, but I definitely understand where he's coming from.
I said it in my previous video, like I can't talk to most people for that fear. I have to resort to going onto the internet to find like other like-minded people that think like me. And if
I feel that. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm not going to cut it off anymore. But Travis, I understand that completely. There was a time I had a live stream session and I said, you guys, I've gotten the most compliments. There's a lot of women that come into the live stream. Let's just give it a little context. There's a lot of women that come into the live stream. I've gotten more financial support on the channel from women than I have from men. I'm going to be completely honest. Perhaps maybe it's an attractive factor. Who knows? But I think it is, because a lot of them would say, yo, it's interesting. How are you single? What's this? What's the reason why you're like this? Like, it's so weird. It seems like you're very, you take care of yourself. You go to the gym. You have polite speech. You're very sociable. You speak multiple languages. What's going on? And honestly, I told them, yeah, I've been on team retention for a very long time. So I've been like going down that route of celibacy. But then also, it was interesting that I only got these compliments online. I used to say that. It's so interesting that all you guys are saying this, because in real life, in the gym, like when I go to the gym, we're at work, in the supermarket, at various social gatherings areas, no one says anything at all. I don't get compliments whatsoever in real life. I've gotten the majority of wonderful comments, or compliments rather, on the internet. So I understand exactly what Travis is going through. And of course, his channel is budding. The more he grows and the more he gets a community of individuals that are tuning in to hear his daily or weekly or fortnight sermons, his videos, he's going to connect more and more with like-minded individuals that really like him for what he says and what he does, and he's gonna feel great. I understand that, but there's also the danger as well of connecting solely with individuals online versus having people that you could really mesh with in person, because that's a whole other side too. But we'll get to that later. But I'm gonna let him rock. I'm gonna let him talk.
Fair within that is like you just never really know a person. And that's why humans and human nature, it's so fickle. It makes me just think that humanity is like doomed at a point. I hate that we got free will. No, I'm not even gonna say that. Free will is good because then we could just go and just like create the dream lives for ourselves. But I just feel like a majority of people is doing what they can to get to the top, and they don't really care who they can stomp down to get to the top. Said in previous video, society is built off of sociopaths and narcissists, and you got to realize the people at the top, I always look at them like, okay, what did you do to get up there? What did you do to get to that point? How many people did you have to screw over? And I'm really not trying to move with that mindset, and I'm pretty sure there's good people out there that are at the top, but like I always say, it's going to be like a small minority.
Okay. Sorry, Trav. I gotta say something else as well. With that, the sort of analysis of the possible ways that those evil narcissists and sociopaths got to the top, there's this quote that also comes to mind, which is, you stare into the void long enough, the void stares back into you. I used to work at this burger restaurant, and there was this guy from Morocco. We were talking about, Solomon, King Suleiman, because he's from Morocco, he was Arabic, so he read the Quran. So that's how you say, Solomon in the Quran. He said that there was a ring that Solomon had that was able to control demons, and we know these demons like Paimon, Asmodeus, and I was like, it'll be interesting to read like the Key of Solomon and just understand more about these demons. And he said, Sombra, you really want to stay away from that stuff, because the words, the way that the order of the phrases, just the way the words are set up, they have this way of sort of sneaking into you and conditioning you slightly, and then it'll produce like some sort of effect in real life, and then slowly but surely you'll identify more and more with what was written in that book. And it's true as well. I remember Sherlock's words from BBC. Sherlock, he was like, the reason why I'm not any genius by any sorts, I'm just very good at deducing because I keep my mind free of filth. So the thing with that is you want to be careful on just being very meticulous about the ways that people get to the top, because as you grow perhaps your personal business, you're going to find yourself slowly using those ways in order to get ahead. Granted, I agree with you on another point. There are very, very good people. The trick is to not exploit. And what is the top anyway, too? What is the top? What is the summit? I mean, of course, there's an objective metric of it. Someone with a lot of money, financial freedom, they don't have to work or clock in anymore, at least seemingly so. And they're able to live a stress-free life because their finances are all in order. And perhaps they have a wonderful social life and a good intimate life, right? But what that means, what the top mean to a lot of people is that it? It means a lot of different things to many different people. You have to be careful with using that terminology. And I think that we need to focus more on less of the destination, but rather the, the journey itself.
And that's why I can't really trust all these rich people that try to put out like things to help people, if that makes sense. The rich people get on like these videos, you try to motivate people and all these different things. It's just scary to see. And these are the people that run the world. If these are the people that's running the world and that behavior looks acceptable, then what's stopping everybody else from just saying that, hey, I'm just going to be like this person because I see if I be like this person, it's going to get me to the top. To be a good and genuine person, it is hard. I'm not going to lie. There's times when I'm like, if I do this, it will better me, but at what cost? Me screwing over somebody else, me feeling bad about it. It's just a nasty feeling. And sometimes, and I battle with these thoughts a lot, I kind of hate that I think this way.
I agree. The thing is, though, the more you experience life, generally, right, where you have your little bout with, going to parties, socializing with many different groups of people, different cultures, right? People from Morocco, people from China, people from Venezuela. you not necessarily those different cultures, right? Those specific ones, but just you'll have a different mindset from people that are completely different. The more you experience things, the more you learn about ways on how you should carry yourself. And ultimately, as you are rising to the top, I think that one needs to hold integrity in the highest of order. I'll tell you, for example, there was, unfortunately, I had a fallout with a YouTuber that I did an interview with. It's really unfortunate. I don't know why it happened the way it did. We did an interview, and I had an opportunity to release another part when he was gone. When everyone, since I was the only one that was connected with him, everyone was asking me when he's going to come back, when is guy going to return, what's going to happen with him. And I had an opportunity to release the second part of the interview for views, for recognition, because I finished editing it and everything. But I chose not to do it because, one, I didn't want to ride off of anyone's coattails. And two, I like to run things with people. I wasn't able to get in contact with him during his hiatus of him being gone from the internet. So I realized that it wouldn't be fair. I don't want to put out something from someone using their likeliness, without their input. And even though I was getting recommendations that I should do it, and I said, no, why the heck would I do that? I'm comfortable doing my own thing. And that's integrity. I think that, I'm not sort of patting myself on the back, but I think that when there's an opportunity ultimately to get ahead or to do extremely well, but to do that, it is at the expense of another person. I think that when you choose the negative for that and choose to go with your integrity, I think that's the winner's move. I think that's the winner's direction. And we need to always hold that in mind. We could always have so much money. We could always have so much luxury and comfort and whatnot based off the material world. But I don't think that it's ever worth stomping on the backs and the heads of someone else in order to be able to enjoy this garden in which the time frame to enjoy that is ephemeral in nature.
I hate that I'm a genuine, empathetic, authentic person, because when it comes down to being ruthless and it comes down to make that decision to get me to that next level, I can't make it. I cannot make it. And what's even worse, because the good people are outnumbered and a large majority of people are moving the way that they're moving, because you're a good person, they look at you like you're the bad guy. Because I hold myself to a higher standard, because I'm trying to move in this Christ-like path, I'm labeled the bad guy. And it just sucks, because this path, you're going to deal with a whole lot of bullshit. And I've seen people try to walk this path and keep getting shitstorm after shitstorm, and they hop off of it. They're like, you know what? F this. I'm going to my villain era. I'm going to be a demon. Because a lot of people operate in the mindset of if you can't beat them, join them.
No. I get that. Travis, I'm with you. Dead serious. I believe you. 100%. He's saying nothing but facts. 100% truth. Verdad. De verdad. But the thing is, you have to hold until the end. Hold the line until the end, and there you will be saved. Because, he had to bring in the New Testament. I had to bring it in as well. Hold to the very end, and you will be saved. It's not necessarily some sort of, well, it is. You'll be picked out of the mire of sin, unvirtuousness, licentiousness, everything, if you hold the line. Life, I truly believe, is a test for us individual souls to see how much we're going to stay focused and hold the line with all of the rules from the people of the past that wrote all of these messages to us when they were, on diets that weren't full of processed foods. They didn't have myriad distractions like the high-speed internet adult film content that we are subject to on a daily basis, not just through those websites, but through social media. The horrible stuff in the air, the horrible stuff in our drinks, the politics and policies that are generally against our best self-interest, especially in the Western world, and a lot of rhetoric coming from our so-called mentors telling us to be as degenerate as possible in order to integrate within the fold. Though if you continuously reject all of that, you will suffer in this place for sure. For sure. Buddha said it. Krishna, he found some way to be very, very playful whilst going through this destructive, degenerate society. But he was touched by the divine. So that divine will give you a little bit of light, and you'll always see the positive in things, and you'll be incredibly happy. There's a lot to learn from Krishna. But Jesus, the same thing. The guy already knew his fate. The guy came down anyway, still did his thing anyway, did not deviate from the path that the Almighty gave to him, and he lived his life and ascended gloriously because of it. When you hold the line, Travis, I understand exactly what you're going through. You must hold the line. You must not relent. You must not become like them. Change up your diet. Do not drink alcohol. These things fatigue and stir the drive. It makes you lazy. It makes you very, very reflexive to do bad things. The more you indulge in these things like drugs, marijuana, so on and so forth, the more you're going to feel inclined to do these things, these negative things, because you're not thinking. Your cognitive function is going to operate on a lower level. Make sure your diet is good. Go to the gym. You look like you got a little bit of traps there. I see you. We see you. Get some deadlifts in. You know what I'm saying? Go to the gym, get that cardio in. Make sure your mind is right. Read good material. I'm not saying stay biased with religion. Religion is good. Read also the Bhagavad Gita. Read also the Quran. Read also, the Thomas Aquinas, Somna Theologike. You need to find out what the heck is really going on, what has been said about this world, and it'll help you stay on the straight and narrow. I'm telling you, that will not prevent the tests from coming your way, but it will help you, it will arm you towards combating those negative experiences so you can continue to hold the line until the very end. That's really it. No reward in this place is worth your soul. If the people around you, if they're not able to see the direction in which you're going, then they are not meant to come with you on your journey as you hold the line in this finite, basest universe. And you have to keep going. You got to let them go. Stop searching for people that could mesh well with you. It's good to socialize and talk with people always. I'm a big fan. If you guys watch my live streams, I'm always chatting with everyone. Everyone, from the person from Georgia and Eastern Europe and Ukraine to the person from the Smith Projects. I'm down to speak to anyone because I'm just interested in people. Speak to people, understand their ways, but you do not have to take on their ways if they are not congruent with what you believe is to be objectively good and true. Dead serious. That's my advice, Trav.
And that's why we're outnumbered, because society makes it very hard for you to want to stay a good person, for you to stay an authentic person. If everyone is looking at everyone as everyone's out for themselves, it takes a really strong character and a strong will to be like, all right, I see everyone going this way, but I'm still going to remain in my authentic self.
Yo, dead serious. I'm going to interject again. I'm sorry, man. Like I was saying in the beginning of the video, I didn't get metaphysical yet, but we're about to get into it right now. Let's think of it logically in a physics perspective, right? You have an area, an ecosystem, a domain, right, of a prevalence of a certain type of individual, right? Certain type of variables, individuals, variables, interchangeable terms. I'm just going to use variables in sake of individuals, right? Just to fall in line with my physics trope. So we have bad variables. If you are a good variable, naturally by being in that space full of bad variables, you are going to be subtly influenced by their actions because you're able to perceive what they're doing in an ocular way, feel it due to your nervous system, and you are able to, you're in their space. So everything that they're doing is influencing you to some degree, as with you to them, but there's a prevalence of them. So what you're doing is not going to have so much more of an effect on them. The thing is, slowly but surely, you're becoming less and less resisting of their advances, of their way. This is why there needs to be an application of energy, of willpower, in order to maintain and hold the line when you are in the midst of evil. God said it in the New Testament. I screamed really loud. Sorry, so I get really passionate. Put on the armor of God and you will not get, I'm telling you, there's nothing that will touch you. 100 could fall on your left, 10,000 could fall on your right, but you will not get touched as long as you follow the way. Semen retention is a very, very powerful tool in order to build up that reservoir of, on the biological side, that nervous energy, on a metaphysical, spiritual side, that willpower, in order to not only, like Travis said, detect what the heck is going on in your space that's degenerate and basest, but also resist and also evolve. You need to use, as men, I'm talking to the men here, men, Listen up. Get on semen retention quick. Not only you are going to stay celibate with on semen retention and building up that reservoir, you have to also maintain that state of not going left, not going right. Meanwhile, not edging, no, not anything. I'm not saying stay away from women. Women have a lot to teach you because they are individuals with their own experiences. You could talk to them. You need to get to a point where you are able to speak to women and not objectify them in your mind, where you can't even be in the same room with them because they might lead you to temptation, right? You need to learn how to be able to be in the space of people from the opposite, women from the opposite sex, and be able to hold a conversation and glean information. You must be able to go on your social media accounts and not feel tempted by going through on the Instagram exploration page. You're looking at lewd content. You must feel easy to go on Google Chrome, and you're not having that temptation to do your little Apple T and then type in those adult film content websites just to peek. Even though that doesn't do anything, even though you think it doesn't do anything, but in fact, it's churning and kickstarting that reproductive system of yours, causing that conversion of semen into sperm and making you lose your streak before you even got conscious to what the hell is going on in your body. The idea is you need to keep that energy within you. You need to have to be able to build that energy of willpower in order to follow, as Travis said, ascertain the enemy's ways, and stay focused on your own path.
And that just scares me. It really scares me. It scares me to see how society's going to be in the future. It scares me because I don't want to bring a kid into this world and they have to go through all the same BS that I went through. And
I was saying the same thing.
Man, I'm just ranting to you guys right now, but it's just things I see time and time again, and society is not getting any better. If anything, it's getting worse. I just see people getting older, and instead of them working on themselves, they regress into worse people. It's really crazy. And also, too, I feel like society, because we like to put people that have titles on a pedestal, and we got to realize that just because that person has a title, whether it be a parent, a doctor, a teacher, any of these titles that they have placed in society, you got to realize that those titles don't mean shit. At the end of the day, we're still humans, and society masks like all this like animalistic behavior, because you got to realize when we were born, before society and everything like that, it started out like that, like survival of the fittest, looking out for myself. If you don't get it, cool, get out the way. I'm going to screw you over. I'm just worried about myself and the people like around me, probably my wife and my kid. Even though we evolved as a society, subconsciously, a lot of people still have that mindset. So just because someone is a parent doesn't mean that's going to make that person automatically a good person.
Right? Who is this guy? Travis, he knows what's going on. He knows what's going on. It's crazy. I was saying this, by the way. It doesn't matter. I go around the world, like especially like, okay, Brooklyn. So I live in Brooklyn, New York City, by the way, if you guys aren't aware where Brooklyn resides. I am in one of the most gentrified neighborhoods in the goddamn state, in the goddamn world. I think second to Roma Norte and Condesa in goddamn La Ciudad de Mexico, right? No mames. These guys naturally hold a lot of college degrees, a lot of bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, postgraduate degrees. These guys are well tenured in their respective fields that they've studied in college, right? So, and they spent the time to study, they spent the time to gain all that title, the paper. And so they want respect naturally. And a lot of people, like Travis said, put them on a pedestal. But there's a lot of things that they just really don't understand about life. Dead serious. There's a lot of entitlement that comes with a lot of these people as well, in terms of how they believe reward should come to them, how they believe opportunities should come to them, right? Because they are surrounded and caught up by the praise of individuals that are ignorant to what true value and true titles are. The disciplined individual is the one with the true title. The people that are able to take charge of their diet, they have control over their health. They're not sexually licentious. They have controls over their mind, their inclinations of the mind. Those are the people with true titles. And I'm not saying that someone that understood all 206 bones in the human body is not someone that isn't worthy of praise as well. But to automatically immortalize someone just because they went through college and they make a whole bunch of money and they have a place by Williamsburg on the waterfront. That's completely silly and outrageous. He is absolutely correct. What we need to judge people by are their deeds, their actions. Do they care about their fellow man? Do they care about uplifting other people? Are they inspirational? When they come into a room, how do things change? That means they have like some sort of vital metaphysical energy emanating from them due to good acts. How is the, what's going on? These are the people that need to be hallowed and praised. But I think that as a society we are ignorant to what true value is, and to what he said about people. I'm gonna succinctly put this in a quote: "People don't grow up; they just get older." We are also in a horrible economic situation here in the United States, here in the UK as well, in the Western world, where the price of inflation ever since 2020 has gone up way faster than the rate of wages for respective people. A lot of people are not working. A lot of people that do work are not making enough money to make ends meet. A lot of people are having kids out of wedlock, the unplanned pregnancies, all that kind of stuff. And so self-introspection is something that's it's not even on the back burner, it's behind the goddamn stove. So people are not interested in trying to evolve. They're at least insofar as it doesn't bring them any closer to gaining more finances. It's unfortunate. Aldous Huxley talked about this in a book, I think Adonis and the Alphabet, or Perennial Philosophy, where he spoke about there is, spirituality, what people believe in, like Catholicism, Christianity, Islam, so on and so forth. But then there is people then in this new modern contemporary age basically group a lot of the useful aspects of the religions and then use it in a practical way in order for to exalt themselves, well, not exalt themselves, but to gain more finances. I forgot what the term is that he called it, but Aldous Huxley covered this already. But I still think, like I said, that you should not allow this as an excuse to give up and become part of the fold, become part of that herd. Because when you are unique, when you are struggling mentally, of fighting to not fit in, then this is the true fight. This is what the Almighty, the Manad, has planned for you. You are meant to grow. Growth does not come from comfort and frolicking in a meadow full of flowers. It's pressure. It's a lot of intense mental pressure, spiritual pressure. It's how it works.
If anything, I see parents moving even worse with their kids. They're thinking about themselves, and I'd be thinking, like, if you were a parent, why? If you were thinking that way, why would you bring a kid into this world? Why would you bring a kid into this world and put your narcissistic tendencies on them?
Lust.
You're responsible for a whole life. And just the 18 years you have with that kid, you putting your bad parenting on them can mess them up for life. And I've seen it time and time again. So just don't think because they have the title of parent, they're good. Don't think just because they have the title of like their boss, doctors, and all these different things, they're good. The more I have discernment, the more I move through life, the more people do these stupid things to me in these same titles, and they move in a way where they've perfected it, and I gotta respect them for it. Because the way people be moving with me, they do the stupid shit, and if I call them out on the behavior, I am the one that's labeled the bad guy.
Right. Listen, Travis, man. Yo, bro, he's saying everything. This dude is saying everything correct. Everything correct. It's nuts. I'm telling you, this is why I move the way I do. People think that I'm soft, I'm calm, I can't get angry. Guys, I get very angry. It's just that when I got angry and expressed that anger, either in a diplomatic, first of all, in an aggressive way, because the younger you are, the closer you are to reflexive primal behavior, which is through physical force, right? Sometimes, most of the time. I got in trouble for that. Then I tried to transmute that anger into being diplomatic about expressing my point of view and why I felt uncomfortable with some of the actions that people would do with me, right? Especially in regards to employment and work. The last job that I had is no different as well. I try to explain these things. I was called combative because, of course, my energy is emanating. So they feel this, but they're not, what I'm saying is not indicative of it. right, of that energy. They feel it, and so it makes them feel uncomfortable, and so they express what they feel and try to attach it to what I'm saying, which is of a complete disconnect, right? I lost so many jobs because I enunciate, or not enunciated, but I explained how people made me feel in regards to certain situations. I was always banded against because I was always that odd one out. I was always that special one. On my lunch breaks, I'm reading Herman S., Aldous Huxley, Alexander Dumas, and I had these ideas, these special ideas, and I was trying to contribute. I was trying to get into the fold, do a teamwork thing. I always got ostracized, marginalized, and kicked out of groups because of that. Always. Always. I lost so many friends that way. I lost so many jobs. So exactly what he is saying, I feel 100% de verdad. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Because it's really a thing. I'm telling you. That's just the way it's going to work. The more energy you build, people are just going to be more and more uncomfortable with you. That's just really what it is. They don't like that. True energy comes from hard work and discipline. And a lot of people don't have that, and so they don't build this willpower, right? And so remember, it's easy for them to act negatively, to act without virtue, to act with exploitation in mind. And they do it all the time, and it becomes reflexive because the body is a muscle ultimately, and it responds to habits that you inflict upon it. It is a very, very malleable mechanical system, which is why, I guess it's why Travis was saying I got to give them respect for that, which, that's not them. It's just their bodies. They're just used to acting like that. So you shock that system and they don't know what to do, either when they're 25 or when they're 45. And that's the danger of being very reflexive and having a lack of willpower in order to ascertain good actions from bad actions, or actions in general that are detrimental to your self-growth. So, yeah. He's saying everything that's correct, man. This guy, man.
If that makes sense. Sometimes I call things out like that someone does, and then you have these flying monkeys around them. They're backing up that bad decision of the person. But because I see through the illusion, and because I speak up and say something, everyone turns on me for it. Because I'm trying to stand up for myself, because I'm trying to call out the bullshit. And they call me out on it because subconsciously, everyone knows a game is being played.
Right.
And if I put a flashlight on that game, people are looking at me like I'm standing out from the Matrix. Why is he speaking up? Play the game or get out the way and just let us play the game. You get me? And it's just hard. It's very, very hard, especially like when you're working 9 to 5, you're trying to escape the Matrix. My main goal is to really escape this Matrix, make as much money as I can, and disappear from society.
He's hitting it spot on. I'm telling you, that game that's being played, the proverbial little game that they're playing, right? It happens not only in work environments, but with women as well, your family, everything. I'm telling you, what he's saying is absolutely spot on. The moment you just reflexively point it out, because it's like, yo, it's weird. Why is everyone doing this? Why can't anyone be straightforward? I'm telling you, they turn on you because you're bringing light to their misdeeds, and that makes them feel uncomfortable, and that makes them feel naked, and they don't like that. No one likes to get the sheets ripped off.
And that's giving me solace in the fact that I know I'm eventually going to get there. Because with this whole battle, spiritual warfare, and us being outnumbered, I could only do so much. You get me? Like, I'm still a human being at the end of the day. I know I'm super spiritual, but at the end of the day, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. There's only so much I can take before I blow a gasket. You get me? And I remain positive.
Listen, Trav, I'm sorry I got to cut you off again. I'm sorry. I felt the same way, but now I've gotten to a point. Dude, I've gotten to a point. I witness this stuff happening around me all the time. I have not fallen. I have not. I still stay on my practice of semen retention. I read my books. I don't treat people. Actually, you know what? I walk down the street. A lot of people, I'm telling you, I'd be on one corner of the street, people try to bump into me, right? I just keep it moving. I try to, and of course, even with my live streams, I don't let all of that stuff, that bad negativity that happens around me, I don't let it affect me. I'm still positive. I am not false. I'm genuine. I talk to people, they ignore me, I move on. I talk to the next person, they don't talk to me, I move on. I let it work for me because I understand my strength, I understand my power, I understand my ability, and I understand how people may respond to that. And I just don't let it affect me at the end of the day. I'm strong in my power. I know who I am. You have to hold the line. I'm dead serious. It's not about blowing a casket. And if you feel that way, let's get back in the gym. Let's journal. I had a consultation the other day where I told someone about the power of journaling and what it did to my life, what it did for me in my life. I have a whole bunch of journals down there underneath my bed of all these things that I talked about: semen retention, philosophies, religion, ideas, grocery lists, even, just to try to express, to channel that energy, to transmute that energy, so it doesn't poison my mind or make me do something aggressive that will harm me in the long term. Journal, do something creative, go to the gym, go outside, do something physical. I'm telling you guys, it's gonna help loads.
Positive. I do all my self-care things.
Yeah,
But
there we go.
once I get my money, I'm disappearing from society. And the frustrating part about it is I can't just do this by my lonesome. Because for one, isolation is super dangerous. I don't recommend you guys doing that. And two, it's like I still gotta go out there and work a 9 to 5 and be around these demons, these people. You get me?
It's all good, Trav. It's all good. You know who they are. When you work with these guys, you know who they are. When you speak with these guys in social settings because you're trying to avoid isolation, you know who they are. You move accordingly. You do not connect. You speak with them. Oh, that's cool. I'm interested in Tom Ford suits too. It's interesting that he had 3 brands that he was doing 3 separate seasons for a year, for a couple of years when he was, on the rise. You talk with whatever the hell they want to talk about, but you know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's as simple as that. That's how I've done it. That's how I'm continuing to do it. I know who they are. I don't isolate myself. I connect with people, but we know what time they're on. They smile with you. You know that you're going to smile back, but you understand that they're going to switch in the future because they're going to catch on to with the light that you're emanating. It's as simple as that. It's simple. Dude, I've gotten this down to a science and a practice. Easy for me, I'm telling you. Like right now, after this, I'm going to do a live stream. We're about to go to my spot, which is a bit, the people there are a bit more genuine than most. I'm not going to lie. Most of them from Eastern Europe, from Russia, and they're very, very understanding about how life should be lived, how the relations between male and females should be, and a lot of their philosophies are very, very positive. So I definitely enjoy being around them for sure because it's just much more positive. But yo, when I walk through this neighborhood, my neighborhood, or places in other places that don't have the groups of people that are like that, bro, I know what time it is. I don't have any resentment. You don't hate them. Remember, the rules said that you don't hate them. You adore them as well. Forgive them because they know not what they do. It's all good. But understand what time it is when you speak with these guys and you converse with those guys. That's serious.
It's just crazy. The more I think about it, the more frustrating it gets. But I stay positive in the fact of knowing that I'm protected by God. Me being on semen retention, me doing meditation, journaling, it gives me spiritual protection. So I'm not getting as destroyed as I did in the past.
There we go.
Because a higher power is watching over me and making sure that these people can't do too much bad for me.
There we go. I'm gonna end it here. Solid guy. Look, we got some solid people. Algorithm. Great work for sharing your thoughts. Let me leave a comment. This seems like a very intellectual young man that knows what's going on. The thing is, I don't think that he should view money as some sort of key. I think that you need to view the process, because you have to understand that you do share this place with a lot of individuals of varying mindsets, not just prevalently negative, but some that are positive. You will meet your tribe, and I'm a firm believer of that. I haven't met many of my tribe yet. I am presented with demons, for sure. But I'm telling you, I've been through this for so long. I've been through this for so long that it doesn't affect me at all. I just walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear nothing. I'm dead serious. And you guys, I'm telling you, men, get on your semen retention practice, read some books, get outside, interact with the world, understand what's going on, pay attention, listen, and you're going to be good. I'm telling you. Travis, I like this guy. You're not alone. Solid content creator. Follow his channel. It seems like he knows what's going on. And he's firm in his conviction of continuing his path of advancement and ascension. So that's solid. That's solid. You got a follower from me, man. That being said, that's all I have to say about this content today, man. If you guys enjoyed that episode of Somber Reacts, like, comment, subscribe. Of course, share the video with some peers. So, bring light to this guy's channel. He only has 500 subscribers essentially. But he's definitely going to get big the more that he continues on this with this message. Hopefully, when the more that men change and understand that the ways that they've been doing, the ways that they've been partaking in, such as a lot of adult film content consumption, processed food consumption, being around toxic friends, doing the whole, following that whole, like somehow escapist passport bro movement, which is essentially morphed into this whole pay for play movement, which of course brings a lot more negativity on a metaphysical level into your lives, which will disrupt your finances in the future and your emotions, so on and so forth. Follow your ways, guys. Understand, get on ways, read the books from the past that talk about these types of behaviors, these types of societies, and try to do a lot of self-reflection. You guys are going to be good, guys. Trust me, I'm doing the same. Stay radiant, you all. I'm going to see you guys in the next Sober Reacts. Woo!